Okay. So Sheni, thanks for jumping on. I know we chatted beforehand, but I basically just wanted to jump on here today and chat a little bit more about your results on the program. I think what are you now? Five months in? Or
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
five
five
months
months.
in.
Mm.
So just before we get to the results and how great it's been, hopefully that's what you're going to say. I just wanted to for anyone listening in, kind of if you could do a short introduction, just tell them a little bit more about kind of who you are and how you got onto the program, that would be great.
Okay, so I'm Sheni and I'm from Johannesburg. Well, currently living in Cape Town at the moment. I was in the Netherlands for a year and we decided to come back home. I'm 43. I usually forget after 40 how old I am.
But you was young.
Um, and yeah, I just decided that, I needed to do something for myself. I've always put everything else first and put myself on the back burner. And I think that's just something normally that we end up doing when we need to invest or do something for ourselves. It's just my husband and I. We don't have kids, but we've been on a journey, and I've put a lot of things in my body as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just been a time where I decided that I need to put myself first here and do something for me. And I think I've always been like in fitness, and I just haven't found where I needed to fit in again. And being in a new little city, I decided, you know what, it's time for a fresh start.
Yeah,
And
nice.
let's
Oh,
start with me.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just even like taking you back to when you were on the program, you were actually on the program for a very short period of time, and then I think obviously just wasn't the right time, and then you jumped back on 5 months ago. Just quickly take
Yeah.
us from when you joined briefly and what changed, what the life scenario was like at that point in time, and then now 5 months ago when you jumped on again for real.
So when I first joined, I mean, I was following in Eminence for years. I think since COVID, I started following you guys. So it's always been watching to see. And you see all the results and you're like, oh, 6 months, 5 months, how am I going to do this? But you don't realize that over the years, you've accumulated all these bad habits that sometimes you just need to go back and start again. So I joined last year. I thought I was ready, but with life, I wasn't. I think I was on for about a month. But
Yeah,
from then already, I could see what you were my coach at that time. And I just could see like how interested you are. And I said, Zane, you know what, can we just pause this? And I thought like, I am going to get back. But it took me a year later and I came back and I was like, things are settled in my life now. I can do this. And that's when I started. So yeah, it's been 5 months.
yeah, man, I can't even believe it. It feels like the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you look like
yeah.
half the person when you came in.
I feel like that.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome, and I'm glad. Obviously, I'm happy that you eventually jumped on, and it was the right time to jump onto the
Yeah.
program. I mean, I would say, like, if you look at the program and what we provide the client with, and what we provide you with, what specifically do you feel like um actually put you in a position to get the results this time around? What about the program do you feel like worked for you? If you could take up maybe one or two points.
I think it's everything in the program. And like last time, it was not the program, it was me. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
There's everything about the program because it's a journey. So when I joined Eminence, I decided to do the 6 month program because I wanted to learn, get back to basics. And it's about having a coach. And not even one coach, there's coaches that's always pushing you, giving you the support that you need because you can't do this alone. And then it's the community.
yeah,
We all in this together. And there's days where you feel like, oh, I've got everything together. And there's days where you're just like, oh, I don't want to even step outside. But it's just that motivation, having the WhatsApp group. I mean, now we're on a great platform that Zane has just introduced us to. And that's all plays a pivotal role in this. And it just makes it that you know that you've got the support because I always say, you need a village with this because you can't do it alone.
yeah, true.
So it's just been the coaching side of it that's been amazing.
Yeah, and I would kind of add to that as well, Sheni. There's a few clients that would sign up and not really utilize the program for what it's worth, and you were one of those that really
Yeah.
got stuck into it. Like
Yes.
you kind of invest not just your time but everything into it. You're jumping on the calls. You're very communicative on our new school community group that we've started.
Yes.
So I think that also adds to the amount of results that you've gotten. So if you can give us a quick summary on your results over the last 5 months, physically, what does that look like? And emotionally, kind of what has that done for you overall?
Initially when I joined, it was all about weight loss, but I always say now after being on this journey, that's a bonus.
Yeah,
That's just by the way that what it's come with. But it's just been like my energy, my mental health, my sleep, my skin. I mean, I've been suffering with my skin for years where I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I know it was some sort of eczema.
yeah.
And being with you guys for a month already, I seen such a big difference.
Wow.
So, and then losing the weight, I mean, I've been my lowest I've been in a long time.
Yeah,
And I'll always say that this is just the beginning because I know what's still to come. And then it's got to do with the exercise where I've always done group classes. Like I could never see myself doing an exercise by myself. And now I love it. I enjoy it. It's just my Zen time where I go in there, get my weights, and just do my thing.
yeah.
So there's been a lot of changes, and it's also just boosted my confidence again. Where I felt that I was slowly losing myself, but now my smile is gone bigger. So I'm happier.
Yeah, and your smile looks bigger because you're half the size. Lost
Yeah.
how much have you lost up until now?
I've
A month.
lost 11 kgs so
Wow.
far.
Last time I tracked on the group, we were on like 8 kgs. Now we're on 11 already.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we are 11 already.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like now about building, my muscle, getting defined, because that's what I really am working towards.
Yeah, and I think like most people think that the hottest spot is actually starting, but it's not. Like the results can come really quickly, but now where you're at now is like a very important stage of your journey because now
Yes,
you've set in the habits, you are consistent, but to continue to be consistent moving forward is going to be the challenge. So now
that's it. And
lost the weight
life
quickly.
happens.
Exactly, life happens, like you said, just before we jumped on the call. Like
Yeah,
maybe sick, and then you travel for 2 or 3 days to come back into it. And I think that's where the community and knowing that you're part of something plays a massive role.
it does. And also your body tends to crave for that
Yeah.
whole nutritious food. It's so funny, but there was days where I was just like, can I just have my smoothie now? That's all I want.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think also the thing that you mentioned about your skin, it's not something to take lightly as well, because most probably anyone that has skin problems think that they need a new cream or they need a new medication.
Yes,
If you're thinking about our
medication.
program, if we take you through the reset phase, variety, and autonomy phase, that reset phase,
Mm.
like you said, the first month is where it's going to reset, detox your body. So that obviously had a massive role in the transformation, not only physically, obviously.
Yeah, no, definitely. That reset phase was so important. And I remember days when you would say, boring is good. And I've just stuck by that. I'm like, I just want to have simple, whole foods and nothing processed. And it makes it simple as well, like your grocery shopping, what you need to cook. I can meal prep for the week and I know I'm good and there's no wastage. I mean, nobody wants to have wasted food these days. So all of that is added to this journey.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, overall, again, massive well done. You've
Thank
lost
you.
a ton of weight, but like you said before, the weight loss is just the add-on. People come for the weight loss, but then they realize
Yes.
they came to us for many more things than just weight loss. The
Yeah, that's
changes, you
it.
can see it in your face, I can see you smiling, the confidence is there, so that's amazing. I would kind of ask if you would maybe have a conversation with somebody else that is thinking about joining our program on Eminencefit, what would you tell them? What would you say? Like,
Why haven't you joined already?
yeah, I like that.
But honestly, I would say it's hard. It's a big decision that you need to make, but it's also something that's gonna benefit you for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
It's about the small habits that you learn, the daily habits that you learn. It's about just being a better person. and you'll never regret it. It's something, it's such an investment that you're going to always look back and say, or you're going to look back and say, oh, I should have joined earlier, or 5 months, 6 months seems so long. But in your first few weeks of joining the program, you already feel different. And
Yeah.
I think nobody can put a price to how you feel.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I couldn't say it better, to be honest. Yeah, just overall,
That's
again,
how I feel.
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, and the thing is, that's why it's important for us to have these conversations. I know we chat on the
Yes.
community calls on a weekly basis and you share with the other coaches, but for people to actually see this conversation and see it in real time, I think it's
Mm,
very beneficial. So hopefully you inspire women around you. And I'm sure even with close friends, family, there's already people that know
yeah.
change, not just physically, but how you your
No.
confidence up front.
Yeah, and I joined as well because my clothes were getting too snug.
Yes.
Now I'm like, oh, I need new clothes because this clothes is too big. It's not a bad thing. We never want to buy a bigger size, but a smaller size, it always just makes it so much more sweeter.
Yeah, but well, you're quite close to Canal Walk, aren't you? So you can go
Yeah.
and do shopping quickly. You're sorted.
But I don't want to just yet because I still have goals. So I'm like, okay, we'll wait a little bit, just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and that's the important thing that you actually brought up because I said to you beforehand as well, when you start seeing these massive changes, your body change, your confidence come out, a lot of people around you would maybe add a few comments on the side as if you're doing something that's not good or you maybe eating
Yes.
middle or like
Yeah.
why are you obsessive? But at the end of the day, you know that you're feeling better. You know where you feel comfortable body weight wise. So I think that's going to be enough.
Yes. That's it. So like I just block out the noise. I always say just noise. And I'm like, yeah, listen, but I'm like, I'm not taking in that. I know what I've been on this journey. And I know what my coaches are teaching me and what I learn.
Yeah,
And so I just go with that. And like I said as well, there's so much of information out there, and we all know the science. It's you just need to lower your calories, but you need help along the way.
yeah,
There's too much information out there sometimes for us.
yeah, yeah,
And I mean, we all feel like we could do this by ourselves, but I'm ever so grateful to Eminence and the coaches because they each bring something different.
yeah. Thanks for that.
And
Really appreciate it.
I'm always learning, and I always feel like, the calls keep me accountable. So that's why I'm always, if I can, I do join it. And there's always an aha moment because there's always somebody who comes up, says something, or you're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I should have thought of that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And the thing is, again, I just want to thank you for actually trusting us for a second time. And we got all the results that you wanted. And hopefully we can take it a bit
Yes.
further and we'll have you around for a little bit. So
Yeah.
again, thank you so much for making a call. And yeah, hopefully we inspire people around us. I really
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Thank
awesome.
you, Zane.
Thank you. Cheers.